Hello, Bobcats, and welcome to StressLess, a guide for student success. On behalf of the Stress and Anxiety Reduction Committee, our members, myself, Dr. Andrew Pischel, Dr. Ryan Johnson, Dr. Mary Tucker, and Ed Addington, we want to welcome you to today's session. Today's agenda, first we'll start off with defining well-being. We'll then identify elements of well-being, focus on well-being resources, discuss the actions of well-being, and talk about ways in which we can stress less. Now, this session has been designed to help you to make plans for the future by using the information provided. Anytime you see one of those green pencils, you'll know to stop and take some notes and reflect on what we're talking about. So, our first green pencil. Most importantly, when in doubt, reach out. Our address for psychological services is www.ohio.edu/studentaffairs/counseling. Remember, when in doubt, reach out. Some statistics. 10% of college students have had thoughts of suicide. 20% of college students say they feel stressed most of the time, and 34% of college students report feeling depressed at least at one point within the last 90 days. I don't know about you, but I've reached all these statistics, and I feel stressed a lot of the times. But there's things that we can do, and we're going to talk about that now. I want you to think about this. What are the physical and visual signs of too much stress in yourself? Remember, you know yourself better than anyone else. So, what are the signs that you feel or that you can see when you get too stressed? So you want to watch out for things like getting sick too often with colds, body aches, headaches, irritability, changes in appetite, or trouble falling asleep. These are all signs that there's been way too much stress in our lives. And right now there's a lot of stress, even more so than normal. So be careful and watch out. I want you to think about a time that you identified these symptoms in yourself or others, maybe your friends or family members, and write down that time. What was happening? What did you notice? And what was the stressor that was happening? We all have stress. We all deal with it in different ways, but how we see it in ourselves and others is how we can help us all to maximize our success. And there's tools available for all of us. The great news is that you can take control. You know, different aspects of your life or well-being will fall in and out of balance, but you want to be aware and take the steps needed to be successful as possible with your own well-being. It's not going to be perfect, but if you know about how to manage your stress and well-being, you can maximize your success in the future. Now remember, another resource available to you is StressLess, www.ohio.edu/stressless. We've created a website for you that has all the resources needed for you anytime that you're feeling stressed or depressed. It's a great place for you to be able to go. So first of all, let's define well-being. Well-being today is achieving personal growth and fulfillment, actively making positive choices, and engaging in meaningful experiences and connecting with others. And you can say to yourself, you know, that sounds like a lot of educational mumbo jumbo or just a lot of words, but we'll break it down and see how that makes sense in the long term in regards to well-being. So when we talk about identifying the elements of well-being, let's talk about it. There's 4 of them: purpose, resilience, relationships, and achievements. Our purpose, recognizing the meaning of what one does and the value that it has and the impact that it has on others. Resilience, believing in ourselves, and we manage what's happening to us in life by making good choices and effectively utilizing resources and opportunities that are presented to us. Relationships, how are we building positive relationships and belonging to a greater community through our own individual engagement? And then finally, achievement, accomplishing worthwhile goals by engaging in experiences that provide the means to thrive in all areas of life. So basically, what are you going to do to celebrate everything that you're accomplishing? Let's take this a little bit more in perspective. So think about your purpose. What is your purpose? Why are you here? Why are you here? Think about it in terms of why are you getting your higher education? Why are you at Ohio University? And then take it bigger than that. You know, what are you doing in your community to increase your purpose? And what is your purpose in life right now, knowing that it's going to change in the future? So write it down. What's your current purpose? Then resilience. I want you to think about and write down a time where you thought you were going to fail, but you ended up being successful in the long run. What made you successful? What are those internal traits that you have that allowed you to succeed? Go ahead and write those down. They're going to be different for everybody. And then relationships. Who are you spending the most of your time with, and who can you depend on? They say that the 5 people you spend the most time with are who you are as a person. So think about that for a minute. Who are the 5 people you spend the most time with? And then think about that in terms of what are your goals? I want you to think about those 5 people, and those 5 people for socialization might be different than those for academics. So you might want to pick these clusters of 5 people, and they might be different for different times in your life. Think wisely, and it's never too late to change those 5 people. And then achievements. We talked about this before. What do you do to celebrate your wins, and what motivates you? Are you externally motivated? Are you motivated by money or power? Or are you internally motivated by knowledge and getting better at something? Next up, we'll focus on well-being resources. First of all, WellTrack. This is an app that's available to you. The website is www.ohio.edu/studentaffairs/counseling/WellTrack. You can track things like your mood, your energy, things that you're doing, and you can see if there's different patterns that are happening in your life. If you can use an electronic resource, you have it available to you at all times. Additional resources available to you can also be as easily as taking a pen and paper and writing down your mood or writing down your energy. Maybe you're tracking what time you're eating during the day or working out or going to the gym, and see where that energy is, and remember that when your energy is high, you can save the world. When your energy is low, that's when you want to conserve that energy and restore to get ready to give that energy again later. So you have the ability to use electronic resources and also pencil and paper, things that you have around the house. So now I'd like you to think about what outside of schoolwork stresses you out. Is it family? Is it bills? Is it the current pandemic? Is it relationships? Is the lack of relationship? What is going on? What is stressing you outside of your schoolwork? Go ahead and take a minute and write that down. So when we think about our well-being resources, the energy we're going to put towards things, I want you to focus on these 6 areas: career and academic, emotional and physical, environmental, financial, social and cultural, and spiritual. We'll talk about each of them. Career and academic. So when you talk about your career and academic well-being, we're thinking about your knowledge, these internal motivators, creating networks, and continually seeking that mental stimulation that comes with higher education. How do you maintain that balance? Well, have a good sense of yourself. Know what's going on. Seek resources to help you make decisions, and then set those goals, those are academic and career goals, and meet them in healthy ways. So you might need to reach out to Student Success Services, some peers, your instructors. Maybe it's a mentor that you've had, but have them help you in reaching your career and academic goals. Emotional. Emotional well-being is a journey towards your increased awareness, expression, and acceptance. So note that you have a full range of emotions, and everyone does, and that's fine, and they're all different for each of us. How you recognize and cope with these stressors is what helps you maintain this balance. And you need to be able to change during times of uncertainty. And let's face it, right now is definitely a times of uncertainty. So we need to make sure that we're focusing on how we can change and be adaptable in these certain situations. We now move on to physical. So I don't know about you, but I'm definitely not going to the gym as much as I was before. And physical well-being is developed through a combination of physical activity and exercise and healthy eating habits that and avoiding those harmful substances, which could be alcohol, drugs, and sugar as well. So how are you going to maintain that balance? First of all, know your current medical state. See what's going on inside. And then reach out when additional care is needed. And don't be afraid to monitor that on a daily, weekly, or monthly basis. Now, in terms of environmental well-being, this is talking about how we are being part of a safe and sustainable community. At Ohio University, we want to make sure that your safety is most important, but right now, some of you might not be on campus with us. So we want you to think about these things. How can you maintain that balance of safety? Well, making sure that your area is comfortable and well cared for. Have that sense of safety and security, maybe through increased security. We'll talk about some apps and availability for you. And then understanding potential risk associated with the neighborhoods in which you travel. So make sure that you always have friends with you. Make sure you always have your phone out. Make sure that you're telling someone that, hey, I'm getting ready to go home. I'll be there in 5 minutes. If I'm not there, check in with me. So make sure that your environment is safe for you. Now, if you're on campus, Bobcat Safe is a new app that's available for download, and it's going to help you to meet all your safety needs here on campus. And then financial. I don't know about you, but yes, I'm stressed about money, and it's a constant stress. I don't ever think I can ever have enough, or I think that there's things that I could be doing better with my finances. So financial well-being is having an understanding of your situation, and then taking care of it in a way that you're prepared for financial challenges and changes. So what does this mean? Well, it means you have to be comfortable with where your money's coming from, and then maybe it's part-time jobs, full-time jobs, second jobs, whatever it is, whatever your situation is, but then being comfortable with also where it's going. Where are you putting that money towards? Is it savings? Are you spending it all on frivolous things? Maybe you set up an account. Make sure that you're doing the things that you need to do to be financially secure. If you don't have a checking account or a savings account, talk to your parents or go into a bank and ask them. That's what they're there for. Here at Ohio University, in Athens, we have the Ohio University Credit Union, a great resource for all of us. And then social and cultural. So the ability to interact with people around you, how we engage, and whether it's peers or our family members, whoever it is, we need to use good communication skills. We need to have meaningful relationships, and they need to be ones that respect ourselves, and in return, we respect others. We want to make sure that you're creating a support system that includes family members and friends. And then spiritual. Today, for spiritual, I'm not talking about religion. I'm talking about your purpose. We talked about purpose before, but what is your purpose? And that's what we talked about spirituality. Spiritual well-being is a personal matter, which involves values and beliefs that provide a purpose in our lives. So we're always searching for that meaning and purpose. We're striving for a state of harmony, and we're working to balance inner needs with the world. It's a constant thing that we're going through every day. So check in with yourself. What's my purpose today, and how am I going to achieve those goals? So the good news, well, the great news, is that you can take control. We all have optimal well-being needs that are going to be different depending on our experiences, personality, and our circumstances. But how do we start to make this happen? So let's talk about that. The actions of well-being, being active, being connected, and being yourself. These three actions of well-being are the first step. Being active physically, emotionally, and intellectually. Being connected, forming social networks and joining groups and organizations. And being yourself, having that self-developed positive self-view. We'll talk more about that. So let's talk about being active. Think about, write down, what are ways that you can be active to increase your well-being? How can you find others that share that passion that you have for your type of activity? Well, here at Ohio University, you can join a student organization by going to the student organizations directory. Maybe you don't realize that something exists. Maybe you're passionate about Quidditch, or maybe you're passionate about marine biology, something. If you want to type any word you want in, see if there's people that share that same passion with you, and find like-minded people and start that journey with them. Then being connected, forming those social networks. Think about a time, or think how you can utilize your connections to help make a positive impact and increase your view of purpose. Now, some of you might not be on campus and you're not going to be with us yet, but make sure you go and you search for those people through our organizational directories that can help you develop that sense of purpose. And maybe it's people in your own community that are in the town, maybe it's through your family and friends, but reach out and see how you can help develop that sense of purpose. Well, how can you do this in our community? In Athens, Ohio, we love and support our community. So there is Campus Involvement Center, which will help you find organizations to work with. How many of you actually in high school were part of organizations that help the community, and you were thinking, well, how am I going to do that in college? Well, there's a lot of organizations. And even if you're not here with us, you can help digitally and virtually. So reach out to organizations that share your mission and share your purpose, and find one that best fits for you. Last, be yourself, developing that self-positive view. So I'd like you to think about, what are the three most important things to you? Well, mine are family, personal growth, and relaxation. I love to go on vacations. So when you think about this, write this down, 3 things that are very, very important to you that you prioritize over things in your life. So when you think about those 3 things, think about it in terms of values. Maybe it's family, mine is well-being and relaxation, and then personal growth. When you think about that and you make decisions, smart decisions based on those 3 things that are most important to you, you're going to see more success in your life. So anytime that I can make a decision that focuses on my family, relaxation, and professional or personal development, I'm going to be at my happiness and my success level is going to be at its highest. So think about that. When you're trying to be as successful as possible, make value-based decisions based on the 3 most important things to you in your life. And then remember, when in doubt, reach out. So now that you know the actions, what can you do today to improve your well-being? Let's start to wrap it up. We know about the elements of well-being: purpose, resilience, relationships, and achievements. We talked about the resources in career and academics, emotional and physical, environmental, financial, social and cultural, and spiritual areas of our lives, which we have stressors, but now we know a little bit more about how we can cope with them. Our actions of well-being are being active, being connected, and being yourself. Being physically active, connecting to social networks, and then finding that positive self-view of ourselves. And then remember that well-being. Remember, at first we talked about this and we said, well, how does this actually fit? It's just a bunch of words. But now that you know about well-being, actively achieving that personal growth and fulfillment. What is your purpose? How are you going to bring that alive? Actively making positive choices, thinking about using those values-based decisions and making choices to maximize your success. Engaging in meaningful experiences. What are you doing to reach out to others and interacting with them in ways that have meaningful experiences with, in return, helps you maximize that connection with each other? That's well-being, and I hope it makes a lot more sense now. Always know that counseling and psychological services is available to you at the Hudson Health Center, 3rd floor. Their phone number and walk-up hours are available. And if we're not on campus and you need a resource, you can always contact them on Twitter or on their website. And remember, you always have ohio.edu/stressless to help you meet your goals. Most importantly, remember that the great news is that you can take control. Different aspects of your well-being will fall in and out of balance. I want you to be aware of the steps needed to be successful as possible with your own well-being. You're the one that can take charge. And remember that we're always here and available to help you if you need us. Thank you and have a wonderful day.